Yo, it's Bench. Today is going to be another somewhat depressing topic. I kind of don't want it to be, but that's just how Genshin is kind of going these days. Even though personally I don't feel that negative about it, to be honest. Like 2.2 isn't a bad patch. So the 2.2 live stream has come and gone. The anniversary is over, and people seem to have calmed down a tiny bit. But this leaves us in a state where Genshin Impact is not really doing a lot, at least in terms of what content creators want from it, which leaves some of them in kind of this weird, uh, weird in between place where they're just kind of on the precipice of like feeling like they need to do something else now, right? They just need to they just feel like they're burning out of content to do in Genshin Impact because that's what it is, right? There is not that much content to do in Genshin Impact anymore. And even though 2.2 is on the horizon, it doesn't do much in terms of adding endgame content. And you can see here that MTash is basically just saying the same thing. People calling Genshin Impact 2.2 filler. I think he actually did call it filler at some point. But I think this is just what the game is and always will be. Events, the odd quests here and there, and exploring around. And he's absolutely right. This is what the game is and will be. It has been a year and we haven't had any changes to endgame and probably never will. That I definitely agree with. Although maybe not for all forever, but from what I talked about, from how I analyzed the game in my previous videos, I can safely say that the lack of an endgame up to this point is definitely a conscious choice by Genshin Impact MiHoYo. It's not because they just don't want there to be an endgame because they're lazy. They actually don't want this game to be unfriendly to casual players. They don't want people to feel pressure to do endgame content. So Genshin Impact is a very free-to-play, casual game friendly game. That's just what it is. And I think Genshin Impact content creators are coming to that realization, or at least that they're coming to a point where they have to face that fact head on. Before, they could always look forward to like the next patch, the next new big content. But now that we're over with Inazuma, and it seems like that main storyline is over, there's really not much to go on in terms of, I don't want to say hope, but expectations for the future of the game in terms of what the next big content patch will be. So yeah, and you can see here that even Enviosity, who is probably one of the most dedicated Genshin Impact players I know, well, I don't know him personally, but I know of him. He's saying, I'm at the point where I'm very unmotivated to upload videos to YouTube. That's how I've been feeling for the past week, which is why I haven't uploaded anything. Yeah, there was 2.2, but honestly, it just confirmed what I felt, right? So I didn't feel any need to make another video about it. I will say that one thing that I think is kind of interesting in terms of Genshin Impact content creator approaches to the game is that a lot of them have been saying it is filler content, which is not exactly true because it adds a new permanent island, it adds new permanent enemies, and adds a combat event. So the content is just whatever we've been getting for the last like 5-6 months now, right? That's what Genshin Impact has been for the past 5 to 6 months. But I think we're at the point now where content creators are feeling like that is filler content because it's not adding to the infinite replayability of the game. It's not content that will last. It's just something we'll do for a week and then we'll forget about it and never go back to the region again. So I think that's what Genshin Impact content creators mean when they say it's filler content. Even though in the meta of MiHoYo's content template for Genshin Impact, it's not really filler content. It is exactly what they want it to be. Genshin Impact in its current state makes it worse because it feels like there's nothing to do besides log in, burn resin, do commissions, and log out. I feel 2.2 will be the same. I do too. Yeah. Even Atsu is saying he wants to branch out away from solely Genshin Impact content, but it would likely jeopardize my channels. Balancing happiness against financial sustainability is very stinky. So yeah, this is the big problem with Genshin Impact content creators, right? I don't think it's controversial to say that a lot of these Genshin Impact content creators were not nearly as big before Genshin Impact. Let's be honest, like Genshin Impact jettisoned these content creators to the stratosphere of what content creators, what big successful content creators are. It's not because of some other gacha game they cover. It's not because of Destiny 2. It's not because of Arc Knights. It's not because of, I don't know, Summoner's War. These are all very successful games, but in terms of the careers of these content creators, it's going to be very hard to move away from Genshin Impact. And even if they do, they probably won't be making as much money and getting as much views, getting as much likes, as much subscribers as Genshin Impact, because that's just how big Genshin Impact is. It's nothing wrong with them. It's just that Genshin Impact has such gravity that if they do move away from it, and I'm sure many of them will, at least partially, they're not going to have the same amount of financial success. And frankly, even though I'm sure that they're very entertaining by themselves, it's just not feasible, right? Many players just go to watch Genshin Impact content. That's not a judgment call on them. That's just how the game is in terms of the entertainment industry for games. Yeah, that's just being burnt out. It's been 3 days of no streams, no videos, and no Genshin Impact. I'm honestly concerned for October. I still feel exhausted and unmotivated, yet I have many contractual obligations yet to complete this month. I hope I can get through it all without imploding. Yeah, that's understandable. So you can see that it's really taking on a toll on them because unlike me, I still play every day, but I don't stream and I don't have to make it entertaining. It's not my job. Uh, I kind of wished it was, but maybe seeing them, maybe it's not that great because these guys have to stream nearly every day. They have to make YouTube every week, YouTube vids every single week, and that does get tiring when you're doing it 365 days a month. It's just burnout, right? And even Dish is like not doing her commissions, and she's like one of the most positive. This is like the most positive take on Genshin Impact burnout I've seen so far. Yeah, and like MTash, I'm sure like Tectone has talked about quitting at some point. But you know, I don't think he's really even playing the game anymore. Like I didn't watch his 24-hour stream, but it's kind of weird to me how like he's this big Genshin Impact content creator, but he plays the game really casually outside of whaling. Like some of the quests he hasn't even done, uh, and I don't think that he even wants to do them, right? Because once you do all the quests, what content are you supposed to make for the game? Yeah, so MTash and Tenha have talked about and have played New World, but you can see here that Tenha tweeted about New World and how he's going to play it, and it's only gotten 69 likes. And when you compare that to just a random tweet about playing Squid Game, no, not Squid Game, watching Squid Game, it's a really great TV, Korean drama show from what I know about it. I haven't personally watched it, but I heard it's pretty good. So this is just a random tweet about Squid Game, and he's getting more likes than New World. Even a tweet about joking about like a Razer collaboration with Genshin Impact has more likes than New World. So you can see that the overlap in audience is not that big for at least Tenha. Any like random tweet about Genshin Impact gets 5 to 6 more times likes, say 5 to 6 more times likes, 6 times more likes than New World. So even though he's a very successful content creator, you have to think about your audience, right? And many of them are, and they probably know way more about this than I do. But it's just a reality. Once that if you're a major Genshin Impact content creator, and you've made your identity based around it, focused around it, then obviously most of your audience is going to care about Genshin Impact, right? That's just how it is. Some major content creators like Asmongold have been able to branch away from that. But even he is playing a really similar game like Final Fantasy 14 now. And he's also playing New World. So he's still playing within the same genre of games. It's not like MTash or Tenha where they're going from a mostly single player gacha RPG game to New World. It's just that's only barely related, right? So yeah, that's basically all I wanted to talk about. Genshin Impact 2.2 is not filler content. It's what Genshin Impact has been doing with their content patches for the last 5 to 6 months. Genshin Impact creators are getting burnt out. They have been getting burnt out since the end of 2.1, since 2.1, I think. And now they're looking to branch away. Some of them are just like, what's Asa doing? He's doing Pokemon card. He's doing Pokemon card pack, the openings now, unpackings now, and so is Dish. And that's the state of Genshin Impact right now. Even though, to be honest, like I don't know if you guys want to hear about leaks, but I've been seeing some stuff about Ito, and that's getting me excited. He looks absolutely badass. And that's basically that's what's keeping me going right now. I say that like so negatively, but to be honest, I am pretty excited for what's coming after 2.2. And not to mention that I really want Hu Tao. So this is just my analysis of what Genshin Impact content creators are feeling right now. Myself, I'm actually somewhat excited for what's coming in the future of Genshin Impact. For new Dendro characters, for Ito, for Yai. It's so weird because these content creators are getting burnt out, while me, even though I play daily, I'm still very excited. So if you share my excitement, comment and like, subscribe, or whatever it is you do on YouTube. If you don't, then comment, like, subscribe. Anyways, see you guys.